So imagine for a second that you could literally rewrite your own biology
Okay.
to make getting rich not just, possible, but, and I'm quoting our source material here,
Go on.
mathematically inevitable.
That's a massive claim. It immediately tells you we're not dealing with your standard financial planning guide today.
No, bold is an understatement.
Yeah.
We're looking at a document that is, frankly, unlike anything we've covered. It's titled The DNA Protocol for Inevitable Quantum Abundance.
Right.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, this is not your typical skip the latte, invest in an index fund advice.
Not at all. This is a rigorous 24-hour schedule designed to program something called Sarvaaishwaryananda into your very cells.
Sarvaaishwaryananda. Let's break that down.
Right. So for those who aren't fluent in Sanskrit, it's a compound word. It roughly translates to all-encompassing wealth and bliss.
All-encompassing wealth.
But the document claims it's not just a mindset or a mood. It's proposing this is an actual biological state you can achieve.
And to get there, this protocol requires a level of discipline that made me tired just reading it. It starts at 4:00 a.m. sharp.
And it dictates pretty much every waking thought until you go to sleep.
And even then, right, even your dreams are supposed to be programmed.
Exactly. The protocol doesn't really stop when your eyes close.
So our mission today is to unpack this. We want to see how this source claims you can turn every single action, from eating to dealing with debt, into a command for abundance.
And it's important to understand the tone here. It's incredibly authoritative. It isn't suggesting things. It frames this as a total immersion system.
A system designed to, permanently rewire your DNA.
That's the core argument. 30 days of this and you are, quote, permanently rewired. It uses the language of quantum physics and biology to justify these ancient spiritual rituals.
Okay, let's get into the weeds then. If we're going to rewire our DNA, apparently we have to wake up very early. The protocol kicks off at 4 a.m. with quantum awakening.
The Brahma Muhurta.
Right, the pre-dawn hours. Many traditions see this as a powerful time. But this document adds a very specific layer to it. It's not just quiet time.
No, it's aggressive reprogramming.
It says to chant Aham Sarvaaishwaryananda 108 times.
Which takes a while. And Aham means I am. So you're chanting, I am the embodiment of all wealth and bliss, over and over.
But it's the visualization that's key here, isn't it?
It is. That's where it gets unique. You aren't just saying words.
No, you have to visualize your DNA strands glowing with golden abundance consciousness.
Exactly. It's a somatic practice. The text explicitly says to command your biology. The phrase is, my very biology manifests infinite abundance.
It's like your body is hardware running old scarcity software, and this is the firmware update.
That's a perfect analogy. And they seem to be leaning on the concept of, epigenetics, the idea that you can change how your genes are expressed.
They're taking that idea to its most extreme conclusion.
They really are. Convince your cells you're wealthy, and reality has no choice but to follow.
And that leads us right to 4:30 a.m. You've done the chanting, and now it's wealth kundalini activation.
Yes. And again, this is very specific. The source says to use the Lakshmi Gayatri mantra. Lakshmi is the Hindu deity of, wealth and prosperity.
But the visualization is very visceral. You're supposed to see liquid gold rising up your spine.
Liquid gold, it's designed to feel heavy, substantial, flowing through every energy center. And the key affirmation here is,
I am the source of all wealth.
Precisely. That's a huge shift in thinking.
It is. Usually people pray to a source for wealth. Please give me this. This says, I'm the source, I generate it.
It's about shifting the locus of control. If you're the source, you can't run out. You're telling your nervous system, hey, we are literally made of gold now.
A biological override.
And once you've established that internal state, the protocol immediately pivots at 5 a.m. to the external world. And for me, this is where it gets psychologically fascinating.
The financial field creation.
Yeah.
This part just blew my mind. Because most of us, if we're stressed about money, we avoid looking at the bank account. We hide the bills.
It's a natural avoidance response.
But this protocol says, nope. At 5 a.m., you sit down in front of your paduka mandir.
Which is an altar, a sacred space, holding ceremonial sandals that represent the guru.
So you're at this sacred altar, holding your credit card statement.
It's a direct confrontation, a collision of worlds, but it's reframed as worship. This is what it calls mental alchemy.
And it instructs you to visualize your debt numbers, those negative balances, transforming into, what was it?
Temple donation receipts.
So my $5,000 Visa bill is now a $5,000 donation to the temple.
In your mind, yes. And your creditors are no longer enemies. They're divine investors in your enlightenment.
Divine investors.
Yeah.
I mean, is that healthy? Or is it delusional?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Psychologically, it's a mechanism to neutralize stress. Debt causes shame, fear.
Which paralyzes you.
Exactly. By reframing it as a spiritual investment, you remove the shame. You can actually think clearly enough to take action.
So you're using this Dharma command.
The affirmation is, all financial transactions serve cosmic abundance.
To stop panicking, which might actually help you make the money to pay it off. It's like cognitive behavioral therapy with religious icons.
Effectively, yes.
So you've rewired your biology, made peace with your dead, and now it's 6 here to 8 a.m. Time for the Sarvaaishwaryananda SATSANG.
The social integration piece. Satsang is a spiritual gathering, and here you have to host a 30-minute Zoom session.
From your altar.
From your altar, sharing financial and spiritual insights, building a dharmic wealth community.
So you've been awake for 2 hours and you're already hosting a webinar.
It forces you to articulate the beliefs, which reinforces them for yourself.
Then at 7 a.m. you bring the family in, you visualize the home as a primary wealth temple, and your breakfast is prasadam of abundance.
Prasadam is food offered to a deity, so it becomes a blessing. Every act is a ritual.
Which sounds lovely. A family eating blessed oatmeal together. But we'll get to what happens if the family doesn't cooperate. Because now it's 8 a.m. Time for work.
Right. Dharmic productivity.
Ah.
From 8 a.m. to noon, and this is where the rubber really meets the road.
It redefines your job as quantum consulting work.
Oh.
But here's the kicker. The paduka mandir. That altar must be visible during every client session.
Every single one.
So if I'm on a Zoom call with, say, a corporate client, I need my religious altar in the background.
That appears to be the instruction. It deliberately blurs the line between the professional and the spiritual.
And your fees are no longer just a price. They're an energy exchange that builds the temple.
It's a high-risk strategy for sure. You might lose some clients.
Or, from the protocol's perspective, you filter out the ones who aren't aligned. You attract the dharmic clients.
It's a bold declaration of identity. You're a spiritual being who happens to do accounting, not the other way around.
Then comes lunch. Noon. The abundance lunch meditation. I'm guessing I can't just inhale a sandwich while checking my phone.
Absolutely not. You're eating in silence, and you're back to that biological visualization.
Visualizing every nutrient activating prosperity DNA.
And the quote is, "My digestion creates abundance metabolism. No biological process is left unprogrammed."
Even your stomach acid is working on your portfolio.
It sounds funny, but it's completely consistent.
Okay, afternoon. 1:00 p.m. to 5:00 p.m. This is community building. And this is where it gets very specific. It stops being abstract.
Yes. It mentions documenting Charlotte Temple development progress.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So there's a real-world project tied to this.
Right. And the task is aggressive outreach. Reach out to 5 potential community members daily to share SPH's teachings.
SPH being the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the leader behind this.
Correct. The command is, "My connections serve dharmic abundance."
Let's call a spade a spade. This is recruitment.
It is. It grounds the abstract vibrations in concrete social networking. You're not just radiating light, you're making phone calls.
It's like network marketing meets spiritual enlightenment.
That's how these movements often grow. They tie your personal salvation to the success of the institution.
Speaking of radiating light, 5:00 p.m. Work is done, but the protocol shifts to evening wealth radiation.
You're back at the altar chanting the Lakshmi Sahasranama, the 1,000 names of Lakshmi, and you're visualizing golden light radiating from your home.
To the entire Charlotte area, your home becomes an abundance vortex.
Yes, you're becoming a beacon, magnetizing prosperity for the whole community.
But, and here's the reality check. What if there's friction? If I start chanting at 4 a.m. and keep an altar in my Zoom background, the people I live with might have some questions.
They might have more than questions, and this is probably the most controversial part of the document. Under critical success factors, there's a section called No Excuses.
The wife resistance clause.
It's quite blunt. It poses the question, wife resistance,
And the answer.
practice louder until she joins.
Wow, just practice louder. That's aggressive.
It's a completely uncompromising stance. The protocol prioritizes maintaining this quantum field over domestic harmony.
So don't let the environment change you. You force the environment to change.
Exactly. From this document's perspective, any doubt from a spouse is a threat to the frequency. A skeptic in the house is like a leak in the boat.
So the solution isn't talk to your wife. It's chant over her until she submits.
Or until she gets on the same wavelength. It's a dominance of the soundscape. But in the real world, that's a recipe for serious conflict.
Yeah, that sounds like a fast track to divorce court, which I guess is another form of wealth redistribution.
Not the kind they're looking for, I'd imagine.
But it shows the level of fanaticism required. Which brings us to 9:00 p.m., quantum sleep programming.
You end the day chanting, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the cosmos. And the command is, my dreams manifest waking prosperity. Your subconscious works the night shift.
So let's zoom out to the philosophy here. The philosophy of inevitability.
Yes. It all hinges on a very particular interpretation of quantum physics. Your consciousness creates your financial reality.
Not influences. It says creates.
It does. It's the observer effect on a macro level. The idea is that if you can hold this frequency of abundance without a single break, the external reality must rearrange itself to match. It's a law, not a wish.
Which explains the rule that 30 days of this permanently rewires you, and the penalty for missing a day.
Double practice next day.
Which is impossible. How do you do double?
You can't, and that's the point. It emphasizes the stakes. The document asks the reader, when will you stop asking for maps and start walking the path?
It puts the entire burden of success on you. If you're not rich, it's because you didn't chant loud enough.
Or you let your mind wander during lunch. It's a heavy burden.
So we have this document, a 24-hour cycle where no moment is left unprogrammed.
And I think the real takeaway here, whether you believe the quantum stuff or not, is the concept of identity shift. Most financial advice is about what you do. This is all about who you are.
Right. It's not act rich, it's be wealth.
Exactly. Abundance isn't something you go get, it's something you become. It's trying to collapse the distance between you and the wealth until they're the same thing.
It's fascinating. I mean, to view a debt collector as a divine investor that requires a level of mental gymnastics that is, frankly, impressive.
It requires a total suspension of standard reality. You have to inhabit this new world so fully that the old one starts to look different.
And 30 days of that would definitely change you.
It absolutely would change your perception. Whether it changes your bank account is the bold claim, but it would change how you interact with everything.
And how the world interacts with you, especially if you're practicing louder.
Indeed, it forces a reaction.
So I want to leave you with a thought to mull over. This protocol is all about your consciousness creating your reality. The source says it's inevitable. But here's the question. If you successfully rewrite your reality to this new frequency, what happens to the parts of your life or the people in your life that refuse to align? Do they eventually tune in, or do they just get tuned out?
That is the ultimate question of any radical transformation.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Until next time, keep asking hard questions.